Your mind is not your friend during no contact. It's going to lie to you. That's because your mind's number one job is to keep you safe. And it believes that in thinking these thoughts, it's keeping you safe. But it's actually going to ruin your chances of getting your ex back if you listen to the lies. And what are these lies? Stay tuned and you'll find out. Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. Welcome back, my beautiful no contact army. Have you downloaded my app Silencio to help you stay in no contact? If you haven't, the link is underneath every single video and podcast. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out the No Contact Army manual at nocontactsecrets.com, where you can read 2 free chapters before you purchase the book. And be sure to stay tuned to the end of this video or podcast, because I'm going to tell you about a new TV show that is going to help you reunite with your ex. So you don't want to miss that. And before I start, I also want to mention something that's been on my mind for a while, and that is that 65% of people who listen to me on YouTube are not subscribed. What? So if I could ask you a favor, it would be, if my videos have ever helped you in any way and you want to give something back in return, then just hit the subscribe button, and I promise I'll continue to work hard to put out interesting and helpful videos so that you will have a better chance at getting your ex back. Thank you. Okay, so the first lie your mind will tell you is that if you do no contact, your ex will forget about you and move on. Why do you think so little of yourself? Maybe it's because your core wound is that you're not good enough, you're unlovable, you have no value, because otherwise, why would you think that you're that forgettable, that they could spend time with you, no matter how much time it was, and then all of a sudden you don't exist? They totally forgot about you. And I've actually done a video on this topic, so I will put the link in the upper right-hand corner. You know, as I've mentioned before, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no logic involved, which is why you're having this thought. And it's also why your ex will not forget about you. If anything, when you ignore them, they will not be able to stop thinking about you, because this is the last thing they expected, especially if you were the anxious one in the relationship. They're going to be expecting you to reach out at some point. And when you don't, they will actually not be able to stop thinking about you. If anything, staying in contact is what's going to enable them to move on and not want to have anything more to do with you, because you're not respecting their boundaries. With no contact, you're giving them what they wanted. They didn't want you in their life, at least not romantically, and voila, they got their wish. Another lie is that if you do no contact, you will lose your ex forever. So first of all, you've already lost them, okay? You can't lose someone twice. And remember, there's the lag period that I talked about in my very first video about getting an ex back, and I'll put the link on YouTube. And that is, when they break up with you, there's a period of time where they are not 100% certain, but they're at least 51% certain that they want to be away from you. So depending on what you do after the breakup, you can either sway them for their interest level to go up so that they will be less certain and more interested in getting back with you, or they'll be more certain and want to get away from you. So you have more power than you actually have, but you have to stay in no contact. The next lie is that the pain is never going to end. Time seems to stand still when you're going through a breakup, and the days seem to go on endlessly, and that's because you're hyper-focused on one thing, and that is, of course, your ex. Because if you were to focus on other things, you'd find that the time would pass a lot faster. That's why dating coaches always say to keep yourself busy after a breakup so that you're not constantly focused on your ex. And a lot of people find my app Silencio helpful because they see the number of days they've been in no contact, and they see it going up every day, and that actually helps them to become stronger, and the pain becomes less. The next lie is that your ex will quickly find someone else and move on. Well, first of all, even if that happens, it's going to be a rebound, okay? And most rebounds don't last. If anything, be happy that they quickly moved on, because that actually increases the likelihood that it's not going to last, as crazy as that sounds, because they're just trying to deal with their feelings by quickly getting into something else. But eventually it's going to catch up with them. And of course, I did a whole video on that too. And of course, I'll put the link on YouTube. You know, finding someone that you want to be in a relationship with long term is not something that happens every day. I mean, they may find someone to date, but that doesn't mean it's going to last. It probably won't. Another thought you may have is, I can't live without my ex in my life. Well, you were living your life before you met them, right? You were happy at some point before you met them. Okay, so you can continue to live and eventually be happy without them, even though right now it doesn't feel that way. But eventually time does its thing and you move on. Another lie is that you will never find anyone better. And, you know, I've done a lot of dating. I've actually dated in 4 countries and 2 continents. And every time that I dated someone, I always thought that he was the best person I ever dated. I always thought, okay, no, this one, he's the best one. Forget the other guy. Forget the guy before him and everyone else before him. No, he's the best one. And I liked him more than anyone else I dated until, of course, we broke up and then I moved on to the next person. And I thought the same thing about that person. So we always think that the last person we dated was the best one until you move on and you realize, no, this is better because, well, now you're older and you're wiser and your choices reflect that. So don't worry, you will find someone better. And a similar thought to this is, my ex is my soulmate or my twin flame, so I have to get them back. So a soulmate, first of all, you can have many soulmates, because if you only have one soulmate and it doesn't work out, now what? It's like, now you're screwed. I met my soulmate, didn't work out, so now that's it. You get one soulmate per life. That's so not true. And a soulmate is not someone with who everything is perfect. And it's not necessarily someone that you spend your life with. It's someone who helps you to grow and gain awareness. And a soulmate does not have to be romantic. It can also be a friend. And as for the twin flame, if you know anything about twin flames, you know it's often a volatile relationship. So don't be surprised if there's a breakup. If anything, be surprised if there isn't a breakup. Okay, a few more lies. The other lie is that you need closure. No, you don't. If they didn't give you closure, it's because they didn't want to give it to you, okay? So asking for closure is not going to make them tell you. And asking for closure is asking to be rejected again. See the breakup as closure. See the disrespect as closure. And if you really need this closure, then maybe down the line, months and months from now, you can ask for it when you're not so emotionally attached to the situation. But right now, leave them alone. And of course, I have a video on closure, and I'll put the link. Okay, the next one is that they're afraid to reach out to you. Well, maybe they are, but you know what? Too bad. Too bad. If they had the guts to break up with you, they can use those same guts to now reach out to you. If they're really interested, if they're really in pain, trust me, they will reach out to you no matter how scared they are. And then finally, the last one is that if you don't respond, your ex will think blah, blah, blah. So first of all, you don't know what your ex is going to think if you don't respond to an insignificant message. And secondly, who cares? They didn't care what you thought of them when they broke up with you. So why are you so worried about what they think if you're not responding to insignificant messages, to breadcrumbs? They're probably thinking like, damn, I thought I'd be able to keep them on the back burner if I wanted to get back with them. I thought they'd respond to every single message. Maybe I need to rethink this, right? So don't believe everything your mind tells you. The mind doesn't like change, like I said. That's why you're thinking all these negative thoughts. It's trying to keep you safe by keeping the status quo and not accepting any significant changes in your life. So just say to your mind, thank you for sharing, and then focus on something else, something positive. Okay? So now I want to hear from you. How long have you been in no contact, and how is it going? And in terms of the casting, if you want to find out more about it, it's a TV show about getting your ex back, then you can either go to my YouTube community page and just scroll down a bit. I made a post about it recently, and it'll have the link to where you need to apply. Or you can also go to my Telegram page where I posted the casting, and the link to that is underneath my YouTube. If you scroll down underneath this video, you'll see the link to Telegram. And so those of you listening on a podcast, you'll have to hop on over to YouTube to get the link to the casting. And if you need my help to get your ex back, you can contact me at theartoflove.net and we will send you the rates. They are not on the page, and the direct link to that is underneath every single video and podcast. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to this as a podcast and find it helpful, the best way to help the podcast is to download it. And finally, remember, love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.